Much love, family. Maybe that was good. I got to start doing this in parts anyway, but my phone messed up. So, we were just talking about Atlantis and all this kind of stuff. This is part two. Get the first drop first. But either way, rock with it. And how that is actually really, Greek terminology for Atlas and plural. We got to think of it in terms of the indigenous land. So, we're taught that we're all from Africa. You see how twisted this is. But where it's been going down at has been beyond the Pillars of Hercules, where this land was sunk. We read the whole story, go back to that drop. Once this war happened with the with the Atlanteans, whoever that power was, remember, Poseidon settled here. Zeus over here. So they got the Zeus, the black gods. All these are black gods. Alright? You can't let them fool you. Let's look at this right quick. Not that, not that, not that. Which one do I want to see first? My bad, I'm trying to... where is it? Oh, it's some type of Wikipedia page I had up. Nope. 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 Okay, this one. Now, when you Wikipedia Solon was like the dude that everyone kept saying was in control, and he has all these, he's a poet. But we'll get to that. But this is some drop they put in. They said this is 6th century Athenian black figure urn. They call it black figure urn because there's black figures in it. So they admit right there that there's black people there, right? It depicts the olive harvest. Many farmers enslaved for debt would have worked on large estates for their creditors. So this is Greece. This is not Egypt. This is not Africa. This is Greece. Remember, but all that land is one land. They're calling it different things because they want their own, but they got nothing. They got nothing. 6th century. Okay? But they're saying that these are enslaved people, farmers enslaved for debt. Now that will rock, except when we dig a little deeper, we find this. Oh man, where'd it go? Boom. What's this then? Are these black farmers enslaved? Hercules. 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 This is Hercules. Black, old brother melanated Hercules. I told you their gods are black. They're all melanin. They changed them to white, right? We see white. That's white. See that little bird thing? That's a white thing. They know what white is. They will easily put that color if they want it. I think he got like some chains on that are white. His eyes are white. You see his eye? All right. Let's see some more pictures of Herc. My man Hercules. He's a demigod. Fallen angel offspring. Do you understand? Fallen angels. This is on the Greek pottery. On the Greek pottery. What's this? Hercules wrestling with the giant Antaeus on a Greek vase. Athenian black figure. All their gods are black. All their gods are negro. All their gods are, whatever you want to call it. More. You understand? Now that you understand what they know their gods look like, and if they try to confuse you when you go to Wikipedia and you see the same images here, but it says Athenian black figure urn depicts the olive harvest. Remember, your olive skin. Olives are dark. Green, dark olives. Many farmers enslaved for debt would have worked on large estates for their creditors. Enslaved. No, not enslaved. I'll get to this. Not enslaved, but Hercules. You understand? And you go to Wikipedia. You know, this is supposed to be Hercules. They want Hercules to look like that. In reality, he black. Now we understand. So, with Hercules in mind, you got Egypt in mind. Remember, it's all about order. All right, so you can't have just two Egypts by law. They had to take over something. So when Abraham's coming back, you know what I'm saying? We're always coming back. Even when we're migrating as Aztecs and Mayans, they said these are our mountains, our valleys. They know their history. You don't. They're not Atlanteans. They don't know that terminology. That's Atlas, remember? This is the land of Shem. Shem's people are by order, to live in the Americas. That's the land of Shem. Alright, sorry if you hear my little one getting down. He's just waking up from his nap. That means it's time for me to go. Get my work in. Alright, here we go. Alright, so let's go back to this joint. You got it up. This is what we were reading last time. This is Socrates, remember. This is their mythology, but it's really your history, which is crazy. It's crazy. So all this time you thought, every time they describe, oh, Hebrews, we all came out of Asia, Central Asia, because that's the only thing that they could remember. Remember. We'll get to it. But just remember, this is their only doorway. If we, being indigenous here, have the key to the doorway, the pillars, then how do they get here? Remember, they said they were leaving their little sea to get to the true ocean. It doesn't make sense like this, but this is their bullshit. The map itself is cool, but the projection is messed up because it's put on their projection. But you see how detailed it is. You see even the little riverbeds are all mapped out. So this ain't no joke. And whoever gave me this, I love you from the bottom of my heart. You see how Australia used to be connected? So when this happened, it was like all this happened. It wasn't just Atlantis. Remember, Socrates and Plato write about this destruction that happened. Once the Athenians, or this power, this black power here, listen, once this black power here finally got the drop on this black power here, now do you get it? And the more I see this, Lemuria Mu connected to Asia. I mean, I know it all connects, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I don't know enough about Lemuria. I'm still getting into that. But that has a lot of the same connection. Some say this predates that. Man, you can keep digging. Right now we're at the Pillars of Hercules. So if we got the drop being indigenous here, we had the power over this gateway for them to get to the true ocean. The true ocean is... Remember this projection? Remember order? Study it. My bad, I'm dropping stuff. Alright. This is your Pacific Ocean. This is your true ocean. This is Oceania, whatever you want to call it. Alright. But South America. So here is your pillars. That's the Mediterranean Sea. All this is what they were calling Atlantis. It was a combination of islands. At that time, these Europeans were stuck here in Europe. This is Europe. They hadn't even seen all this and went all the way through Asia this way. They haven't gone all the way to what they were calling Hyperborea and all that this way. They hadn't traveled all the way even through Africa this way. There were other tribes preventing them like that. They weren't trying to go to war with all the indigenous people like that. So they were kept right here, and all they really had was the Mediterranean Sea. Let's get a better glimpse at it. This right here. Reconstructions of Homer's left. This is Homer's view of the world. And this is Hecatea's right. These are both like prestigious cartographers of their world. This is their worlds. His version, which demonstrate the ancient Greek worldview of two major bodies of water, the Mediterranean Sea and Oceanus. Goodness gracious. Let's get it bigger. Study it. Pause it if you can. I'm going to try to go in close for you. This is Homer's. Circa, this is before Christ, they're saying. So whatever that time mark is. Before that, 900, probably this is 900 BC. And this is circa 500 before, ante. So I think that's 900 BC and 500 BC. So this is newer than that one. This is the oldest one. So let's go to Homer's. All right. This is all the old world. This is not America. This is not America. So adjust your vision, adjust your perception. These are both pictures of the old world to them that they understood. Actually, let's go to this one first, the newer one, Hecatea's. You have Europe. Look how big Europe is. See, this is from their perspective. They were huge. Asia, look at Asia. So this is a little Asia. Europe is huge. The older one didn't call it Europe. They call it Thracia. 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 This is all Asia. They're keeping it real. Suddenly it became Europa, which is also after what? A black woman. Europa. She's black. All this is black. Black, 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 black. Of course, I'm using that term just to get your attention. We know that we have tribes, right? So now that we wake up and you say, oh, we're just one, you understand. We have indigenous people here, indigenous people here, indigenous people here. Then you got your Americas. Hundreds of millions of people are indigenous here. Hundreds of millions of people are indigenous in the Americas. So now let's look at the older version, Homer's. Now notice he has Elysium right here. This would be the pillars of Hercules. You see Atlas? You see a little Atlas? All right, you'll have the link, so pull it up. You see Ethiopia, Ethiops. That's Ethiopia, Libya. Remember, Black power. No, man, if you're calling yourself African and we're African Americans and you get mad at people who are like, what do you mean Black African power and African this and African? What are you talking about? Which one of your native indigenous family members, you wake them up 1,000, 2,000 years ago, you talk about being African, they're going to slap you in the back of the neck and say, boy, did you forget our family? Don't you understand what's been going on for thousands of years? It's tribal war. Some people don't want you waking up because they woke up before you, so they're like, yo, if this is trill, I'm going to look mighty bad once they really know what my family's role in what you call your Bible. These biblios, this collection of books that we're talking about here, whatever versions. Melanin don't save you. I'm not talking about saving a Christian way. I'm talking about saving man, this is war. You think you could beat up on the people Let them go through what they go through, help keep them asleep, and there's no recompense? That's just justice, right? But now people don't like justice all of a sudden. Now when it comes to justice and actually having a just sentence for what you've been a part of, even now keeping people asleep. There are people purposely keeping you asleep that look just like you, because the Spaniards look just like you and the Portuguese look just like you that did this to you. The Romans look just like you. The Greeks look just like you. I just proved that to you. So you got to divide yourself a degree, right? Not even like you step back, but you know, one of them little Bruce Lee pivots. You're like, yeah, you know, little Jet Li moves. You got to change your angle up, get a little sharper. See through the eyes of your fathers. See through the eyes of your father. See through the eyes of he on the throne. Be with him on the throne. Vibrate. Be in 432. Then you can understand what's around you. Remember, this chaos come before order. They believe chaos started this thing. The Big Bang is the whole, that's their whole situation. That's their Copernican, Newtonian model, right? Galileo, whatever, you know. That's their people. You see how twisted they are? How they keep twisting history. They call it Europa. They keep twisting you out. These people must be farmers. Oops, no, these are your gods. You see Olmec heads. You see these people. You see Egypt here. You're the whole picture. They were trapped. Here's the pillars. Actually, let's look at this one too. Here's the pillars of Hercules. All right. Once they got past here, all they have right here is Mediterranean Sea. You see all this? This is the fake ocean, false ocean, or the sea. This is the Pacific Ocean, or Oceania, or the true ocean. When you're in the true ocean, whether, you know, these are both the same image. If you're in, what's this called? Oceanus. When you're in Oceanus, then you can actually connect to the portals and get to all the drop. All the drop is out here. You understand? You have to get out. They were stuck in for a long time. They did all their navigating from here to there. They explored Africa. Let's go over here. They explored Africa. You see over here it says Egyptus, Phoenicia. Right? Egyptus, Phoenicia. They have Egypt. That's Egypt. That's the other. That's Kemet. The other Egypt is in the Western Hemisphere. Egyptians understood very well how to do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's all, look, all our family, you know, it's not like they couldn't cross the pillars. Our family was straight. But they didn't let everybody through like that. Obviously, if Egypt had to drop here, clearly, you know, they had to drop on the gateway. Like, Egypt was going in and out all day. Remember, Atlanteans doesn't equal Hebrew. It doesn't equal Ibri. All that doesn't equal that particular seed. But it all is melanated family, right? It's all part of the tribal wars that we have to first get apprised to. We got to understand what's going on. Then we could come together and say, all right, you Egyptian, all right. You're from the people of Ibri. You're from Ibr. Oh, we all are Americans. We all are Atlanteans. Remember, Atlanteans, Atlas, that's just a fallen angel. Atlantis is named after a fallen angel. Atlas, a demigod. Okay, that's your true ocean. Let's go back here. This is your true ocean. This is Oceanus. Oceanus. Where was it? Sorry. Oceanus. Oceanus. Mediterranean. Mediterranean. What did we say in no, I got too many tabs open, but what did my man say? Hold up. I'll find it. Nope, not yet. Yeah. Reconstructions of Homer's left. He's on the left. Hakateas, right? World maps which demonstrate the ancient Greek worldview of two major bodies of water. That's the outside and the inside. The outside, the inside. The Mediterranean Sea and Oceanus. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic. Nah. Pacific Ocean and Atlantic, I think, are all Oceanus. Mediterranean Sea specifically is just the inner. That's my running theory. Okay? That's my running theory. We're on a journey. We're separating. We're connecting the dots. So whatever one you want to look at, this is Thracia, not Europia, Thracia. But all that is Asia and Libya. It's all Africa, Asia, it's all the same. Can we at least stop playing? That's not Africa. It's called Libya specifically. It's all the same though. But there are indigenous people by lot. Even the fallen angels did this thing by lot. So why aren't you thinking that way? If the Most High is thinking that way, and even Satan is thinking that way, even he has an order, what makes you suddenly want to be in disorder and not understand that your family is indigenous to specific areas? I think I'm playing, man. I think this is funny business. Somebody's taking me serious by now. I hope. Somebody got the drop. Hold up, man. Now, a large family of distinguished sons sprang from Atlas that became Atlantis. But it was the eldest who, as king, always passed the scepter to the eldest of his sons. Thus, they preserved the sovereignty for many generations, and wealth they possessed was so immense that the like had never been seen before in any royal house, nor ever easily will be seen again. I might be ahead of myself. I'm gonna throw this out there as I was reading this. The scepters being passed from generation to generation. These 10 kings. Egypt's here. Atlantis is here. Egypt seems to be all over this place. Atlantis seems to be all over this place. Atlantis doesn't really exist as a title. It's Greek. Egypt is also Greek. So the real Kemet, we know where that is and what they call the old world. And that we know that what we're calling Egypt here is also there, same place. This is describing an empire being here that was the wealthiest of all these wealthiest, and they had kings and they passed their power from generation to generation. And it just sounds like they're talking about Egypt to me. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Alright? But remember, Atlas, these are black people. They're calling him that. What would be his name in Egyptian, in Metanetta? If this story checks, right? What's his name? What's this dynasty we're talking about? Always passed the scepter to his eldest of his sons, and thus they preserved the sovereignty for many generations, and the wealth they possessed was so immense. Doesn't that sound like Egypt and how Joseph built up Egypt? And all the Hebrews that had the best of the land there, and he put them in a special part of the land. The richest and the most fruitful part was Joseph's family, the sons and daughters of Ibri, that the like had never been seen before in any royal house, nor ever will be seen again, and they were provided with everything of which provision was needed either in the city or throughout the rest of the country. And then it goes on. Hold up. You guys got the link. I know it's a lot, man. So I just got to kind of go in and out of this thing a little bit. But when I say order, all right, so now you're talking about this order here was Atlas, who Poseidon, who they're calling Poseidon. What's Poseidon's name in the Metanetta? In Kemet, how do they refer to Poseidon and Zeus? Who's the Poseidon and Zeus figures in Kemet? Now let's focus. Now these are his children. And let's talk about the allotment. I mean, man. Alright, I'm just going to stay focused. As regards their manpower, just on a side note, if Poseidon, I'm not even going to say. As regards their manpower, it was ordained that each allotment should furnish one man as leader of all the men in the plain. The plane, not the globe. The plane. Everything's a plane. They understood it to be a plane. All right. Who were fit to bear arms, and the size of the allotment was about 10 times 10 stades, and the total number of the allotments was 60,000. That's 60,000 different lands. Size of the allotment. All right. This is land. 60,000 different, what? Islands? 60,000 different parts of land. It was divided in 60,000 ways. One of those. And the number of the men in the mountains and of the rest of the country was countless, according to the report. And according to their districts and villages, they were all assigned to these allotments under their leaders. Does it sound like, what do they call, in, man, I was just reading this. But you know how there were different districts in Egypt, different districts in Kemet. Rolling off my gnomes, I think gnomes, right? Different gnomes, something like that. Y'all understand this better than I do. I'm just going with a running theory here. Again, we're talking about the rulership here. I'm not talking about the people that were in 432. I'm talking about the rulership. So don't get offended. Let's just rock and see how this connects to Atlantis, because I think a lot of people already know this, and I think, you know, maybe I'm late to the party. So let's go. So the allotment was 60,000. Let's start from the top. As regards to the manpower, remember how powerful they were. It was ordained that each allotment should furnish one man as leader of all the men in the plain who were fit to bear arms. And the size of the allotment was about 10 times 10 stades, whatever that is. And the total number of all the allotments was 60,000. And the number of the men in the mountains and in the rest of the country was countless, according to the report. According to their districts and villages, they were all assigned to these allotments under their leaders. So it was ordained that each such leader should provide for war the sixth part of a war chariot. War chariots. I ain't making it up. It is happening in real time. Activate. War chariot equipment. Who was rocking chariots? So as to make up 10,000 chariots in all. That don't sound, I mean, that sounds like a story I'm reading from Egypt. I'm sorry. I'm really kind of leaning on this now. War chariots together with 2 horses and mounted the rider who springs from the horse. So you're not just thinking about, when you think about Atlantis, like, ooh, some mystical, it's like war chariots, and they had 2 horses. And it sounds like a regular place in a sense of what we understand historically. They had natives. There was fallen angel seed. Is that not today? Don't we have natives and fallen angels walking around? And this battle against principalities, energy. First thing we do when we wake up, and this is just being real, man. We wake up and we like, yo, look at Kemet, man. I mean, look how, you know, they look like us, and that's all we know because we have no perspective. So we lock in and we get all that research and all those books. And you can't think you had to drop 30 years ago. You can't think you had to drop 40 years ago. Not in this particular. If you went back thousands, I'll give it to you. But if you in this generation, you think you had to drop 50 years ago, you had some pieces, man, but you got to empty your cup. I mean, we are in this together, right? We are in it for truth. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong about any of this. I'm running with a hypothesis. I have given, you know what I'm saying, my entire, you know, I've posed my position here. My position is that I am not here to declare anything, but to drop it. I rock with 432 to Drop Radio, and we drop this shit on your head, on your head bone. You feeling me now? 10,000 chariots in all, together with 2 horses and mounted men. Also a pair of horses without a car, and attached thereto a combatant with a small shield, and for a charioteer the ride who springs from horse the rider who springs from horse to horse. So he's a rider in battle. He goes from horse to horse, and two hoplites and archers. And doesn't it sound like an Egyptian battle or like a what they want to consider a Roman battle? But they got all that drop from Egypt. They got all that drop from Egypt. You can read the rest. Look at this, Solon. I told you, he's the guy, the poet. Everyone always talks about Solon. Solon, also spent some time in studies with Xenophis of Heliopos in Egypt. So he's writing about Egypt, studying in Egypt. But they're calling it Atlantis because of Atlas, because they rename everything after they people. Huh? So when they say they big war that happened with the Athenians, this war between the Athenians, this war between the Atlantis, remember that's their big drop. That's how it all goes down, right? That's the stage that we're fighting, right? Look, many great and wonderful deeds are recorded of your state Athens in the Egyptians' histories. The Egyptians' histories. But one of them exceeds all the rest. So all this is in Egypt's history. Somebody already know that. But one of them exceeds all the rest in greatness and valor, for these histories tell of a mighty power, Atlantis. It's in quotes because that ain't the real name. That ain't the real name. That's why they got to do it like that. They got to trick you. Which unprovoked made an expedition against the whole of Europe. Oh, says who? Who would write unprovoked if they meant truth? You know what unprovoked means? It means you walking down the street, minding your own damn business. And I was like, hold up. Hey. And I just took a hammer and started bashing with a hammer. Then somebody could witness that and say, man, Kingdrop, that was unprovoked. I'm like, damn, man, I know, man, but I just like the killings. I just like to get the killings, right? So that's unprovoked. All right, so look, let's just keep reading a little bit of this. Who unprovoked made an expedition against the whole of Europe, Asia. So we know where that is now. The whole of Europe and Asia. This is the whole of Europe and Asia. This is the pillars. That's called Elysium here. Look up Elysium. Notice they also call it, at least on this one, the Hakatias. Mega, look at this word. Metagonium. Metagonium. When you kind of look into what Metagonium is. I don't know if I still got it up or not. Right. Okay, I'll put this link up. I just kind of stumbled on it. This is the classic. I don't even know what book this is. Oh, the poem of Festive Avienus. Alright, so I just skipped to page 111. Herculean pillars. Calp and Abila. These are the names of what they're calling the Herculean pillars. Remember what Hercules looks like. Sorry. Boom. This guy. This deity. This half-breed. Half-deity, right? So, where were we? I know I'm not organized today. But these are some other pictures of the pillars. So look at this Hercules. You know, they changed the picture of Hercules to look, of course. You see this picture, Spain, Morocco, Hercules. These are the pillars, right, between Spain and Morocco. Here's another drawn, monument of the pillars. This is supposed to be Hercules, but remember what Hercules looks like. Not this, that. Not that, that. Get it? Where were we? I just got to find my way back home. Alright, so remember, Old world, new world. This is all they knew. This was their sea. This was the true ocean. That's the true ocean. Herculean pillars, Calp and Abila, which is a mountain opposite to Calpe, and situated in the parts of Africa named by Eratosthenes, Metagonium, a portion of the Numidian race. You could keep reading about these pillars, but you see they put it in Africa. There's two pillars, which is on a mountain opposite to Calp. So those are two mountains. 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 All right, I'm stalling. Mountains. Just Google Strait of Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar is the Strait of Hercules, is the pillars, is the Strait of Gibraltar is the entrance into both. That's the gateway from one world to the other world. The world that connects you to the true ocean, to the poles, to all the drop, to all the fables and myths, and yes, your quote unquote Hebrew Abraham, all these myths, right? These mythical God, that mythical God. Here's the issue. Man, here's the issue. Here's the beef. Certain people wake up. They go to Egypt, and they stay here. This is real time. Just dig on it. Certain people wake up, and they stay here. And they read all this stuff, and they got all this knowledge, and they stay right here. They stay right here. They never go here. They never cross. I'm talking about I'm talking about information-wise. They put a cap on right here, and they said it's all about here. Don't you get it? They want it out. Why do you think Egypt got out? Why do you think Egypt got access to the true sea, to Oceanus? But they want your knowledge to bring you here, to Spain, the Moors, Egypt, all that. They don't understand. You got the drop. They want it out. That's why they came over here and got some drop. That's why they came over here and got some drop. But is that their order to have the drop on this fertile land? Remember, Joseph put his family in the most fertile land. But y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. All right, so we got this Metagonium. Remember, Hercules pillars, Calpe and Abila, which is a mountain opposite to Calpe and situated in the parts of Africa named by Eratosthenes. Metagonium, a portion of the Numidian race. Where's Metagonium? Let's go back. Metagonium, right here. Dig on it. Hopefully you can see it. If not, pull it up. Dig on it. That's Metagonium. Pillar here, pillar here. Here's your entrance. Here's your sea. Mediterranean Sea. This is your true ocean. This is all Libya. Libya. That's one thing they did understand is this whole... They at least this is a much truer name. Africa is sorcery. Yeah, I said it. I mean, come on, man. If it ain't you, if you didn't call it, then stop calling it that. Once you understand you didn't call it that, stop it. Just call it the land. You gotta always keep saying African. I mean, why do you think Jesse Jackson did this to you? You think he's still rocking with you knowing how many damn seeds we got? Oh, we just black? Black power? Every time we got a problem, we got them leading us. Every time something happens to Israel, some other dark race leads us. Some other civil rights. And we think they look like us. We get a president that looks like us. Is he you? Is that your black president? You already know. Was he in Atlantis? Does his family go back? to this land? Were they already here before this sunk and that sunk and everything broke apart? Remember, let's go to the script. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10. I'm just going to go right. You know, you got all the genealogies. Look at Ham and all his genealogies. You research this and you tell me this is play. This is mythology. Or does it line up with real history? Research the genealogies of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tabal. Who are they today? You already know. You can see Greece in there. You know who the Greeks are? Huh? Ashkenaz, Ashkenazi. Those were the sons of Gomer, Ashkenazi Jews. Most Jews, 90% would say they're Ashkenazi. They are sons of Japheth. They come from the islands. They kicked you off of your mainland and brought you to the island. Do you get it? When they finally got through, man, when they finally got through. First of all, they're not even from here. This is all melanated turf. All this is melanated turf. The islands they come from don't even exist on this map. They've been sunk and destroyed a long time ago. So they had to come inward and started booting everybody out of Africa. America raising hell. The peacock. Check out Lex Will's peacock drop. Then you'll get the drop on exactly what we're talking about because he already got it. The Semites or Shemites. Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber. Ebri, you are children of Eber. Ebri, Ebru, Eber, Ebri. Don't let nobody try to shake you. Oh, the name Israel was just invented. It's Is and Ra and El. Well, then keep it. We are the seed of the Creator. We don't need titles. We didn't call ourselves this stuff. You keep that crap. Most of us wake up and stay here. They refuse to accept the history here. You understand? They refuse to dig up the bones. They refuse to even dig up the Grand Canyon where Egypt is. But they rock Kemet. They know all the deities and all the principalities. They even might know some magic. But do they know this? Do they know Egypt? Do they understand that this is not the land of Egypt? Just like they call it Canaan. It was named for Canaan after Canaan decided not to leave. So thus was the name, the land called Canaan. But is it Canaan? Your Torah says thus the land was called Canaan. It's not Canaan. So the Canaanites couldn't have been here first. Israel, this is your land. Don't you get it? I just got your land back. For all these suckers coming in, man, and you know what I'm saying, look, you know, everybody rocking with DNA, do so at your own choice and your own risk. I don't speak for it. I don't speak against it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody asks me some straight up question, whatever, I just got to be able to validate, you know, whatever data sources these are and whatever it is. If such and such got the drop, we got to know that they got the drop. And if they're not you, then you can't put a 100% on someone saying, oh, well, this drop, your drops of blood or your drop of DNA must be these haplogroups, because they might be, you know, giving you some drop. But are they giving you all the drop to where we can tell our family and sway our family, yes, you are God's seed. No, you're not God's seed. Yes, you are in this frequency. No, you're not in this frequency. It can cause confusion if we're not 100%. And if you're not 100%, don't play with Heya. You think Heya left it up to DNA? You think Heya, all powerful, left it up to their laboratories and stuff you can't confirm? Do you think Heya will give you this treasure, put you on a treasure hunt, and not let you connect the dots, he knows it's important for you to connect. That's all we got. So if we can't connect the dots with DNA, because we can't check out their laboratories, we don't know who's working at 23andMe. We don't know who's working in, you know what I'm saying? They don't even have a sample size big enough to really accurately place you anywhere. Their sample size is less than point something of a percent. That means that 99.99999 they don't have those samples. So can we draw an accurate conclusion with less than 1% of a DNA sample? That means people have to. That means that you giving them your DNA, you're providing them more samples. That's the game. They're just collecting stuff from you. Do you trust them? Do you know what they're doing in their laboratories? Do you know what they're doing in their laboratories? So it's all love for everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get stuck on it in terms of telling me or anybody else who they are based on laboratories I can confirm. All right? I know people rock with the New Testament. I love you. I hope you're growing. I'm just saying if it only goes to the Greek, and if you can't confirm that on your land, your turf, and in you, if one is now bringing something else in between you and the Creator, and before it was nothing in between you and the Creator. If one, you are the only begotten, and suddenly you're snatched from that role, and now you just hope not to be a Gentile. You know, speaking to you out of love. I don't know nothing, right? I know a little bit of a lot. And I know a lot of a little. So rock with me. These are my words. This is my journey. And if I'm 100% incorrect, forgive me and love me anyway. But if you're surfing this wave, pull out your surfboard. Surfboard. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder. To him, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, Hu, Geth, Mash. Arphaxad begat Salah. Selah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Pele. For in his days was the earth divided. Divided. The earth was divided. The earth was divided. The earth was divided. The earth was divided. This is your recent history. So my mathematicians and my math wizards, you can start to put this together and just go on the journey and say, what if it happened in the days of Pele? How long ago was that based on this timeline? Does this match up with what these Greeks and Romans, their stuff is saying with this battle of Atlantis taking place? Eventually, Athens got the drop. These were all melanated people. The so-called white man was sitting this one out, y'all. This ain't about him. That's the drop. That's why it's not taught to you. It's called a myth. These are black myths with black guys. They don't want you to wake up. Whatever side you're on, whether you're on this side or that side, you need to wake up and choose your creator. Alright? If you're Egyptian and you understand, and it's not going to be many, but you need to wake up and choose your creator. If you are a son or daughter of Eber, Hebrew, Israel, Yashara, it's not going to be many. It's called a remnant for a reason. That bloodline don't make you choose the creator. Don't put you in order. Remember, we have wicked seeds and righteous seeds. We're all supposed to come back. We're all supposed to be here. We all signed up for this. So activate. You know who you are. And everyone else, all right, we are putting some pinpoint accuracy on some things. So if you feel left out, it's okay. It's a part of the journey. Either you down to surf the wave or you ain't. And some people are in it for truth. But truth is different than being righteous. So those that are in it for truth, that are just, truth, not truth whores, but you know what I'm saying, they're just excited because they're down with some cutting edge information and some cool people and stuff like that. You know who you are. Be in it for Israel. That's the target. I bring you, you know what I'm saying, that vast to bring you back to the target, to bring you back to hey, hey. If you love and trust your creator, if you love and trust all that exists, all that is, and which we call in Hebrew, hey, hey, according to the Strong's Concordance, 1961. You know, according to this this verb, this primitive verb, hey, that is. If you understand that energy, then be on the side of that energy. Remember, if you need to understand these things simply, all you got to do is break it back into energy, frequency, and vibration. That is the secret. Hey, yeah, hey. Energy, frequency, vibration. You want to understand your creator, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and you'll understand it at its simplest form. You'll understand all this as energy. Imagine this being like a big matrix board with the little green numbers going down. This is just an energy board. And there's different signatures at different places. And at any time, even a signature that was created in chaos can make a flip and turn into another, you know what I'm saying, energy. You can flip your energy, or energy that was created in order can flip over to chaos. And each parts of these land, all this land got different energy, signatures, and frequency. So whatever, not that one has to be a chaotic energy. I'm just saying it has a different sequence, man. And I don't know, you know, DNA. See, I believe 100% in DNA. I believe I got 12 strands of DNA. I think more of those are activated than they tell us. Do you really think you only got 2 out of your 12 DNA strands activated? Would you be on this journey if you did? Some do. Alright? So, all this land that's energy. Your people have a place for them. Some people have no place for them. Some people's place was destroyed. So they take your place. Even our own people get greedy sometimes and might rock out here and then want to rock out here too because they can't resist. It's just so plentiful. All the gold and everything, all the riches. So then when you wake up, they say, nah, 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 nah. You're just from somewhere in here. Don't worry about it. Yeah, go back. Until you try to go back here with your 1,000-person tribe. You get 1,000 people. We're going to be a village in Africa. The real indigenous people to that village are going to look at you like you're crazy and say, yeah, all right, brother, but we don't have those resources for you unless you are from our seed. I mean, yeah, a few at a time, but let you come with 20,000 people, you'll see these people get real specific real fast. It ain't gonna be no black power. It ain't gonna be no indigenous or no melanated. It's gonna be, why should we be sharing all of our resources with you and your 50,000 people? You know, as I keep going up, because I want to make it realistic. You tell us as African Americans to move to Africa, go back to Africa, you're saying how many millions of people? So if there's not one country writing right now to accept 1,000 of us, is that really plausible? Or are you already home? Does it make more sense that these tens of millions of people who are nearly extinct, when Ulysses Grant wrote, I got 7 million Aztecs that built the railroads, who do you think those Aztecs were? Remember, we didn't call ourselves Aztecs. We didn't call ourselves Atlanteans. Which brings me to another map. I hope I have it up. Oh, is this, what's this? I want to get that one, but not yet. Hang with me, bang with me. I'm just trying to get my train of thought. But yeah, you could definitely see, you know, even inside the Rock of Gibraltar, you could actually go inside of it, which is crazy. I don't want to get off track. Come on, slow net. I got the slowest. here's my proof we're not on a ball. Is that you know how you gotta get DirecTV or some type of cable, but we can't do it here because you got this tree blocking you. Then you understand they're using land-based technology, ground-based radars and signals to send you. You're not getting a DirecTV signal from space, or else what would be blocking you? Like, I mean, literally, I'm on my balcony. I couldn't get DirecTV. All right, I got all this space. If I'm in, you telling me DirecTV don't ever come around this part of space? That part of the sky ain't covered in DirecTV. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man, let's go. Rock of Gibraltar. You see people taking tours inside of it. You see how large it is. This was a metropolis. You understand how vast and huge this was? Come on. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. You see how vast and huge this was? This is the rock. This is one of them. In between that and that, that's the Mediterranean Sea. Either, I don't know if they're flip-flop, but if you're coming from America, you're rolling this way. One part would be here. I mean, you got to imagine how vast the pillars. So you got the rock, and inside the rock is this carving. It's carved out. It's hollowed out. You know, this is the fake Hercules. So you got the real Hercules. Not that. Not that. All right? The real Hercules, you know, he's chilling at the rock. That's supposed to be you got to imagine the real one. But the pose, that was just the semblance of it. Of that big ass rock you just saw. Remember, right between Spain and Morocco. Oh, okay, now I know what I was looking for. And I don't know if I still have it. Remember, the days of Peleg. For in his days was the earth divided. Peleg. Why would that be in your writing, in your tablets? For in his days was the earth divided. Is that just a waste of time? Or are they trying to leave you a hint that it wasn't that far ago? The earth was just divided. And it might have been divided, in my running theory. At the time when Atlantis and Lemuria, all that stuff was sunk. All those volcanoes, all that earthquakes he said. Man, I know it's a lot of drop. But after okay, check this out. So this is after the Greeks won, the black Greeks. All right, and when the rest fell off from her, being compelled to stand alone, after having undergone the very extremity of danger, she defeated, triumphed over the invaders, and preserved from slavery. They were enslaved. They were being enslaved by the other side, right? The other side had this little area on lock. The Egyptians were over there, and they still had all this on lock. They had everything on lock, all right? So, but afterwards there occurred violent earthquakes and floods, and in a single day and night of misfortune, all your warlike men in a body sank into the earth, and the island of Atlantis in like manner disappeared in the depths of the sea, for which reason the sea in those parts is impassable and impenetrable, because there is a shoal of mud in the way, and this was caused by the subsidence of the island. There was mud. They couldn't get past through the Atlantic Ocean or whatever the case anymore. That became the Atlantic Ocean. Before that, it was pillars and land, and you could walk all the way through. All right? So you could walk all the way through. Now, it's just impassable water. Now, I ask you, did they take you from here and bring you here? Or did they just pass here, find you here, and then say, woo, we found them? And then start taking you from here and all over into here. All this. Canary Islands, Europe. They took you here. After being finally told by the certain indigenous sailors, seafaring people, how to get there. How to navigate these rough waters that were once what? Shoal of mud in the way. And this was caused by the subsidence of the island. And I can't find my other picture I want to show you. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe it's on here. Let me do a quick. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's a lot of flicks. You know, everyone has their little, but this is what Poseidon did, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that is what was around the Pillars of Hercules. So that land, matter of fact, I'm pretty, you know, this is getting kind of clear to me. Remember, it's a running theory, so you're working with me, and you're seeing this real time. So this little thing here wasn't all of what it was. This was just what was right here, or where Elysium is, but that was a part of it. That went into the Mediterranean Sea. That little circle was what Poseidon built, and he put that right there, and that connected him to Africa. That connected him everywhere. He was at the center of it right here. I guess in all respects, you know, that's the center of a certain way of looking at things, okay? I wouldn't call that a central pole or anything like that, but that was the center of something. And that's where he put the his island. Remember, he made his circles and he did all that, and he had his he killed the parents of his girl, and he took her when she was age to marry, which was probably like 12 or 13. So he took this 12 or 13-year-old girl, killed her parents, took her here, had babies with her, and that became the 10 kings, and the 10 kings ended up ruling. And I'm saying, did that have anything to do with the Egyptian dynasties? That's a running question for you. Okay, so that about it. That's the Rock of Gibraltar on the inside. That's inside the pillars. And this last drop here is just, you know, what I was talking about. That's the same ring. That's the true ocean. So once you get past these pillars, yeah, this is a good one. Once you get past these pillars of Hercules, then you got this ring that will take you, I guess, into, you know, whatever, Mediterranean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that would be Asia and everything else, but that would be as big as the Mediterranean Sea. I guess that would be Europe around here. But some people understand that Canary Islands was connected with Atlantis, and the rest of the true ocean is here. Make sure you guys can still see it. Okay. So this is the true ocean that will connect you to the rest of the world. That's where we from. That's our lot. Over there. Over there. You get it? They finally got past this once that fell. But they got this far. However it went down, they got this far. They finally got to this border, and all this got sunk. All this got sunk. But then the earth was what? The earth was divided. His name was Peleg. Unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. All right. So you understand Oceanus, Pacific Ocean, Mediterranean Sea in the middle. Okay. So I think that's all I wanted to give you today. Remember, this is Greece. You understand? That's that little piece. This is a little better picture of it. But if you need to really understand what things look like, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to meditate on your world. And understand that even beyond this part is more land. Imagine me carving out little circles in this black. Would be more land. Just as big as Africa, Asia, just as big. And that's why they say you're spinning on a ball. Because if you're on a ball, you'll never find your real habitat. So love to y'all. Remember what's in the Grand Canyon. Remember the drop. Remember this. The mummified bodies. The tunnel complex that Mr. G.E. Kincaid found was a burial chamber. The mummies were placed in the burial chamber walls on large stone blocks. The Egyptian bodies began coming to the Grand Canyon according to carbon dating of the mummy's bones. The carbon date for the oldest mummy was 1600 BC. 1600 BC. 1600 BC. 1600 BC. Dig on this. 1600 BC. Mummified bodies. You are going to have to dig on it. Get with it or get left on. Real spill. This is the Zoroaster Temple in the Grand Canyon. Was named by Hopi Indians, which means it was something before that. They call it Zoroaster Temple. But you understand this is Egypt. You understand all the temples in the background. Know your environment. Stay up, suit up, choose up. And always, man, stay in swag frequency. You already know.